Okay, sixth graders, welcome to English Chapter 9. We are on page 155 in your English book. All of the assignments this week and from here on out, as much as I can make them, will be done on the computer, just like you've been doing the other assignments. So essentially, you will need this part, the instructional part, because that is going to be your guideline for the quiz that we'll be taking on Thursday. And again, we're going to cover this, for the example, this week we're going to cover personal pronouns and their antecedents, which is today's lesson. And then we'll be covering also possessive pronouns, those two types. And then you'll have a little quiz, and then the extra day is going to be used towards English in your writing for working on your reading contract. So, and I will be giving more details on the reading contract because I'm still kind of thinking through how I want to do that, and then I may make some adjustments still, just because you're not coming back to school here, and so that's going to change things a little bit. But again, keep working on the writing activities I've given you. You can continue reading your book. There's a day built in throughout the reading portion where I'd like you to see you spend a good 25 to 30 minutes reading your book and working on your contract. And so that is a must. You just keep on pace, because you'll be able to turn those in, I'm hoping, to the school, the contract, so I can pick them up to your file folders like at the end of the year. So anyway, let's go ahead and look at the personal pronouns and the antecedents. First off, the antecedents, what we want to look at here is the antecedent, in other words, what the personal pronoun takes the place of. So a pronoun is a word that replaces a noun or noun phrase. Personal pronouns replace names of people, place, and things. So for example, we look at this, we have the word Jim. Now Jim could have different phrases referring to him. We could have him, he, his. In this case, we're using the word he. So instead, and I'm going to kind of write this above it because I know you get this, you can see this. Jim, in their writing, Jim went fishing. Then the next sentence, we can turn it around, and I'm going to change this first phrase. He took his friend Bob. All right, so what we're doing here is we have the name Jim, and then this built into the same paragraph, which this isn't a paragraph obviously, I have Jim is my antecedent, which is spelled A-N-T-E. I'll abbreviate it, antecedent. And then the pronoun that it replaces is the term he, because he refers to Jim, and actually his refers to Jim. They all tie together into one, reflecting back to the person's name. To break up the redundancy of saying, you would say Jim went fishing, Jim took Jim's friend Bob. That's redundant. You don't need to do it. That's not good writing. So again, you're using whenever you take the place of something with a pronoun, it refers back to what you're talking about in the original sentence, in the original paragraph as well. So in this case, we have Jim went fishing, he went fishing, replacing the name. Now you notice they draw the arrows. Now on the assignment, when you do it on the computer, we're not drawing any arrows, and you'll see how I'll go through that a little bit on the assignment when we get to it here. The large dog, so our dogs is our noun, stayed at home. All right, dogs being plural, which means we need a pronoun that gives the same purpose of being plural, not plural. The large dog stayed home, they stayed home. Or you could change this around, the large dog stayed at home, they were asleep in front of the fireplace. So I could change that around, referring to dogs. Antecedent being dogs, they being the term of referring back to dogs, the pronoun. All right, antecedent is a noun or noun phrase that a pronoun refers to. Antecedent, Kylie, this is what we were saying up here, is in fifth grade. She has 3 sisters. This is what we're talking about with this first sentence with Jim. She has 3 sisters is again reflecting back to who we're talking about in the original statement, which is Kylie. All right, now, personal pronouns. We have singular, which means meaning the first person. I, me, you, he, him, she, her. Know these, have these on hand when you take your quiz on Thursday. You will have a quiz covering these things on Thursday, and you'll have to be able to use them. The antecedent will usually be in parentheses that I put on the quiz, and you got to tell me what it refers to. In other words, one of these words. If it's singular, it's going to be I, me, you, he, him, she, her. Plural, we, us, you, they, them. Meaning more than one. All right, moving forward. If it is not clear which noun, let's blow that up just a little bit more, if I'm making sure you guys can see it well. If it is not clear which noun the pronoun refers to, rewrite the sentence. Kylie is leaving with her mom because she has a dental appointment. Again, Kylie is my antecedent. All right. We have her referring to Kylie, and we have she referring to Kylie. Everything reflects back. So in other words, Kylie is singular. So we have the word her, there it is. And we have because she. We wouldn't use her again because of the redundancy. You wouldn't say Kylie is leaving with her mom because her has a dental appointment. Doesn't make sense. Mom because she has a dental appointment, dentist appointment. So that's why you see a hash line. They can work together. Does Kylie have an appointment or does her mother? Because Kylie has a dental appointment, she is leaving with her mom. So again, her and she referring to Kylie, two different phrases. We have over here pronouns and their antecedents must agree with the number of gender. Spot is singular, licked my hand when I petted him. All right, so in other words, my hand is a different referring to a person, singular person. So we use my. So that's it. And if you notice up here, they don't give that in the singular listing. My and mine are singular. When I petted him, him referring to again the singular. So Spot licked my hand when I petted him. Notice everything in this sentence is singular. You can't be bouncing around too much. Julia explained why she was late. Okay, masculine singular, and we have feminine singular. Okay, masculine singular, and like I said, we'll get into those here in a second here. The table was dented when we bought it. All right, here, the reason we're going masculine, it refers to the male. The feminine singular basically reflects to the female. And when it's neutral, it's not mentioning male or female, then we have neuter singular, is how it's pronounced. They're neither male or female. So the feminine means female, masculine means male. Okay? All right. Now, slide this up. Let's kind of walk through this a little bit. Okay. All right. So we have underline the pronoun that is correctly refers to each underlined antecedent. And you'll want to do this with me because this is kind of your information page on here. The independent practice is on the computer. This you do with me on the computer. You're on the, on your workbook. So you have a practice. Mario is singular. And he's masculine because it's a male. Mario told who? Told us. All right, so us, that's a pronoun, but we're not worried about that because the sentence refers to each underlying antecedent. So we have the antecedent, and in the independent practice, I will do this. I will put parentheses around it. Okay? So Mario told us that he or they. So is Mario going to be a he or is it going to be a they? And I'm hoping you're telling Mr. White it's a he. So yes, we're going to underline that. On the independent practice, you would type in the word he, just like it is here. No capitalization, just he. All right, that would be for the independent practice. Had been to Europe. Number 2, because maps, okay, this is a neuter pronoun. Because maps are important, don't get it or them wet. All right, so we have plural, and so we're looking for a plural. All right, so, and sometimes you can proofread and you can see right away. So in this case, them wet. Maps mean plural, them meaning plural also. And this is plural, neuter plural. All right, now, next part. Okay. And we have the other part. Sliding up. I'll erase so you can see it nice and clean. Now this one I'm going to change the direction because again we can't draw arrows in the computer. Doesn't work very well. At least I haven't figured it out yet. It says underline the pronoun and its antecedent. All right, so what we're going to do is then draw an arrow from the pronoun to its antecedent. We're going to do the same thing we did up before. It says Danielle, and so Danielle is going to be my antecedent. So what I'll have is I'm putting parentheses around that. All right, then is going to Spain. Now, the second part here says underline the pronoun and its antecedent. She, so I'm going to put my parentheses around that. She refers to, so instead of underline, we're going to put parentheses. And parentheses. All right. She will tutor a missionary's child. So in this case, I may ask you to do this. What is the pronoun? What is the pronoun you'd use for Danielle? All right, in the independent practice, you would write down the word she in your answer. And again, just like it's given, it's a period, so it should be capitalized. All right, so I'm going to take the parentheses out of there so you can kind of see. So I will have this in parentheses for you. You will then determine what is the pronoun that you would use with Danielle, which is your antecedent. All right, again, Mr. Henson will be in parentheses. If you, as far as, and as another example, whether he, so you would write down the word he, would speak at the meeting. All right, now next part, last part, we have write the pronoun that correctly refers to each underlined antecedent. All right, the street was made of cobblestone and blank was bumpy. All right, street. Well, it's not a he. It's not a them. It's not a she, not a her, so there's only one choice that remains. The word it. It refers to street. It's a neuter. Neuter, that means it's. That's why a person's not an it. Okay, number 6. Our friends told us that, so we got a group, we have plural, and so we have plural, so therefore we have told us that they were going to Germany. Okay, so that is basically what you have in your English pre. I hope you have this. And write it down as you're getting it, because this will help you when you're doing the lesson in the independent practice. Again, if you have questions, feel free. PRA meaning parentheses. And that's a big term that I use. All right, if you have questions, again, please call.